The grammar I had discussed at the end of a lecture. A implies AB, A implies A, B implies B, E implies C, and E implies small c. This was the grammar given to you. Is it noted down? And then this particular grammar we had discussed under the point construction of reduced grammar. If you look at this grammar, do you find there is a need of reduction in this grammar? You may find some unwanted or useless production in this grammar. What was that? E implies capital C. This is the production which is not at all being used. And this E implies C. This is the another production which is not used. And in this grammar, only the language generated by this particular grammar is something. What the sentence is belongs to this grammar, generated by this grammar, is AB. AB itself. And this particular sentence has been generated by utilizing the production S implies AB, A implies A is substituted by A, small a, and capital B is substituted by B. If you look at the production involved in these derivations are simply S implies AB and A implies A and B implies B. These are the only three productions involved in this derivation. So if you and this particular grammar really generating the language what? Which is including the sentence, only one sentence, that is AB. This is the grammar. Suppose G is the grammar and that is having a language LG and having the sentence AB. I came up with some reduced form of a grammar G dash, which is again giving you the same kind of sentences, same language, isn't it? So since here I can clearly see that I am having a grammar of this kind in which there are productions which are useless, which are not taking part in the derivation itself. Okay? So I can remove that such productions and I can have a reduced form of grammar in which I don't find any kind of useless productions. Can I see this? I say this as a G dash and this is a reduced grammar. Is it reduced or not? Do you see this grammar is reduced or not? It is a reduced grammar. By removing the two unwanted or useless production, I came up with this grammar. So this is the objective of the point today we are going to discuss under the point construction of reduced grammar. If you have been given a grammar of kind grammar and that is of context free grammar and it is having a number of productions which are useless in the sense that those productions are not taking any participation in the derivation of a string. Like in this case, E implies capital C and E implies C. These are the two productions. We are not at all taking any part into the derivation. Okay? So the method is so simple, but here we need to see the formal method, okay, for reducing the given grammar to some reduced form. Okay? Shall we go for the formal method? This was the discussion we had made in the last lecture and in the last 15 minutes. Do you remember? Huh? Okay, fine. First of all, we go for doing analysis over this graph. How can I make a method to get a reduced form of this grammar G? बताइए. Just look at this grammar and go on thinking. How could I get the reduced form of a grammar? कैसे मिला मुझे? But I looked at this grammar and I found that this is the start symbol where I should start my derivation. I started with the first production and I got what? S implies AB. So after that, A and B should be replaced by at the end by the terminal. So I looked at this A and I gone for searching the production for A. Okay? So during that process I found this is the production applicable to for me. So what I did then, I replaced this A by this terminal A, variable A by terminal A. Then what I did next? What I did next? मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ समझ में आ रहा है आपको? Here I am finding the method. I am making the method of reducing this graph. Okay? Here I can clearly see that there are some of the productions which are useless, and these are useless in the sense that they are not at all going to be used in the derivation, isn't it? यहाँ पे मुझे पता चल रहा है कि E implies C and E implies small c, these are the two productions which are not being utilized during the derivation. कैसे बताया हमने? How we came to the conclusion that these two productions are useless one? कैसे पता चला हमें कि वो दोनों यूजलेस हैं बोल के? इसका नाम
E is not used.
E is
non-terminal E is not
appearing at the right hand side. Do you mean to say this? हाँ बोलिए तो.
non-terminal E is not present in above and E. और the S plus A भी है ना, तो A और B terminal यूज होने वाला, non-terminal यूज होने वाला, E का कहीं
प्रेजेंस नहीं है उसका. E का कोई प्रेजेंस नहीं है. कहाँ पे नहीं है? प्रोडक्शन के राइट हैंड साइड. सो इसका क्लियर मतलब है कि E A जो वेरिएबल है, this E variable is not appearing at the right hand side of the production. This is E is present at the left hand side. It is ready for substitution. But where do we substitute? At the right hand side we do substitute. And there is no variable at the right hand side of E. So we are not able to substitute E. So E is not appearing at the right hand side. That's why this production I am unable to apply. Okay? Similarly, this production also I am unable to apply. That is why I found that these two productions are useless for me. Okay? This is the very first. Another way, what I can say that I can start with yes, considering the right hand side in the derivation. I will go for deriving certain string and I will see what are the various variables or non-terminals we will come across during the derivation. In that process, what I found that A is clearly here being replaced by small a by applying the second production. So I came to this, and finally, in the second step, B is being replaced by a small b by applying third production. तो खड़े हो जाए, ये वाला खड़े हो जाए, बाहर please come out, do fast. सब अपना बोरिया बिस्तर लेके बाहर. second step, what I am doing? B I am replacing by B. So and then I am coming to this sentence, and I came to know that since this is the end of my derivation, and I clearly found that during the derivation these two variables these two productions I am not able to use at all. That's why I come to this conclusion that these are the two useless productions. Okay na? So this exactly this same analysis we have to utilize to frame the method. So in the last lecture we were discussing construction of reduced grammar, and half part of it we discussed that I will revise today. Before that, I want to see when the two grammars G and G dash will be equivalent. When we can say the two grammars, regular grammar, sorry, not regular grammar, here we are considering context-free grammar. We already have seen that two regular grammars are equivalent when, in what case the two regular grammars can be equivalent? It means to say equal. Yes? If both grammars generate the same language, if suppose G1 and G2 are regular grammars, these two will be equivalent if the language generated by G1 is equivalent to language generated by G2. This is for regular grammar. Here we are considering context-free grammar. When the two context-free grammar G and G dash are equivalent, what do you say? Say the language generated by the context-free grammar G is equivalent to language generated by the context-free grammar G dash. When these two languages will be equal, in that case we say these two CFGs are equivalent. Okay, on the basis of this equivalence, we are going to see the definition for the purpose of construction of reduced grammar. Okay, what was the first definition? First theorem? Construction of reduced context-free grammar. Theorem 1. Please note down. See, we are seeking for a method to reduce a context-free grammars, and for getting these methods, we have to see the two theorems. Two theorems will help you, okay, the way, or these two theorems give you the way to do the reduction of context-free grammar. Okay, please note down. Let G is a grammar and the grammar is four tuple. It is Vn, sigma, P and S. Be a context-free grammar with language generated by this grammar is not equal to phi. It means that the grammar should generate certain set of sentences. Okay. The equivalent there is a equivalent grammar G dash with again 4 tuple with minimized number of variables sigma and minimized number of or reduced number of production and start symbol. In which every variable derives some terminal string. Let's see what this theorem says. There is a grammar G, and for a grammar G we can have a grammar equivalent grammar G dash. The property possessing by this grammar G is that this one, the language generated by grammar G should not be null. For such a grammar we can have a equivalent grammar G dash where the reduced number of variables we are having and reduced number of productions we can have. In such a grammar, every variable derives the variables which we are having in this set. Every variable derives some terminal string. Okay? So second theorem you consider. Let G Vn sigma P S is a context free grammar. There exists equivalent grammar G dash with further reduced number of further reduction we are doing in this theorem says that you can have a reduced number of variables, reduced number of symbols and reduced number of productions with same start symbol. Okay? In which every variable and symbols, here I am considering symbol as a terminal, or you can say in that way you can write it. Variables and terminals involves in some sentential form. When we actually start the solving the problem, at that time you will be understand what exactly these theorems are stating. I will repeat this theorem 2. What this theorem 2 says that then let a grammar G a context free grammar. For a such grammar G, there exists a equivalent grammar G dash with reduced number of variables, reduced number of terminals and reduced number of productions with same start symbol, in which every variable and every terminal involved in some sentential form. Okay? Here I am going to write steps. Step 1. This reduced grammar we are going to construct by using 2 steps. Under step 1 there are further 2 sub steps. Out of it I will consider A is a step. So here we can name this step as a construction of see in this the first step we are considering for theorem 1. Second step we will see, in that case we are considering theorem 2. So in the first step we will work out the theorem 1, okay, under which there is a step A in which we are constructing, as you can see that this theorem, this is the given grammar, out of it we are constructing G dash, where Vn dash, the change is in Vn and the number of variables and number of productions, okay. So Vn dash and P dash here we are working on. So here we are looking for a two steps. First step is what? Construction of Vn dash, and second step is what? Construction of P dash. Similarly in this step, in second step we look for again two steps in which what we do? Here we construct. That I will come to that point. First of all we should cover this. So I wanted to say that this method, construction of reduced grammar, in which what various steps are involved in that. Is it clear? It is having a two-step process. Again the first step is having two steps and second step having again two steps. So it is a four-step, total four-step process. First of all I will go through the first step. We will see first the construction of Vn dash. Wi is the term here I am using, which is consisting of is a set of variables, and Wi is belongs to what? Vn dash. W1 is belongs to the set of variables. So this Vn is belongs to the original grammar given to us. And here we are constructing Wi, which is the subset of this Vn. So Wi I can have is a variable A, Wi consisting of variable A, where A is, there exists, you can say, where there exists a production A implies W. It is a small w, okay. This one is a capital W. It is a small w, indicating the string, terminal string, where W is belongs to sigma star. In this first step, I am collecting those set of variables, okay, in which those set of variables and such variables which are in the products which are of kind this production, where this production says that A implies W, means something A implies terminal string. We are having, for example, if you see the example, I will write that example here. Yesterday we have seen one of a grammar, that is S implies AB, S implies, A implies what? A, B implies B, E implies C, and E implies small c. So if you look at the productions, A implies A, B implies B, and E implies C, these are the productions which are really implying what? Terminal string. Here W is what? And that terminal string we can represent how? Sigma star. What sigma is? Sigma is what? Set of terminals. So sigma star means what? If if I am having my sigma in this case is A, B, C, what is mean by A, comma B, comma C, comma star? Here comma means or. Any 0 or more than 0 combinations of these two terminals A, B, C. So in that case, A, here you can see that this is a production. At the right hand side you are having a terminal and terminal, this way. So in this Wi, here I am collecting this Wi is a set of variables, and the set of variables are such that the set of variables are the left hand side of a production, and those productions are of this kind. A implies W. Okay. So after finding out Wi, you need to calculate Wi plus 1. And Wi plus 1 is again the set of variables. So see, this W is here I consider as a set of variables, and in these two steps we are collecting the such set of variables which are really taking part in this derivation of the grammar sentences. Okay. So Wi plus, here I am calculating, and this Wi plus 1 is Wi union of the additional number of variables where A is such that there exists. What here I am doing? I am collecting. See, in the first Wi I collected what variables? A, B and E. Further I am looking for such productions, such variables in which these variables are involved. Are you understanding? In the first step, what I collected? A, B and E. As per this Wi, what I collected? Such variables which are at the right hand side of the production, like this. A implies W, and this W belongs to this. Means such set of productions which are having terminal at the right hand side of the production. So here A, B, E are such variables. In Wi plus 1, what I am doing? I am collecting further variables. Here I can clearly see that A, B, E are the variables for me, and S is also a variable which is really should be the part of G dash grammar. How do I collect S? S मुझे कैसे कलेक्ट करना है? मुझे इस टाइम में कितने वेरिएबल मिले हैं? 3 वेरिएबल मिले, A, B और E. So how can I go for collecting S? How can I go for collecting S? Here I can clearly see that S implies AB. This is also a production which should be considered in the reduced grammar G dash. What is the logic? ऐसे production, such production whose right hand side is a combination of the variables we already have collected. हमें कौन से वेरिएबल मिले हैं अभी? A, B और E. ये वेरिएबल के कॉम्बिनेशंस जिस प्रोडक्शन के राइट हैंड साइड में है, ऐसे प्रोडक्शन का लेफ्ट हैंड साइड हमें और Wi plus 1 में ऐड करना चाहिए. Okay, so that I am writing Wi plus 1 is equal to Wi union and additional variable A. Here I am considering. Okay, A is a in general term. There exists a production A implies alpha, and this A is what? The left hand side of some production. A implies alpha, where alpha belongs to what? alpha right hand side of the production should be belongs to what? The combinations of A, B and E. And where I am having A, B and E, A, B, E and I am having what? In WR. Here not we need to only consider A, B, E. My production may be like this. A, B. My production may be like this. In this case, you can see that along with my variables, there is a terminal also. So I should not only say that the combinations 0 or more than 0 combinations of variable, okay, at the right hand side of production. I should say that 0 or more than 0 combinations of variables which I received in the previous step along with the terminals. So that is why alpha here I can consider it is a combinations of union WR star. What is sigma? Is a set of terminals. And what is WR? WR is a set of variables I received in the previous step. In this example, what I received in the previous step as a WR, ABE. So what is sigma? Sigma is ABC. A, small b, small c, and A, capital B and capital E. And closure. And that doing closure, that is what this alpha belongs to this particular closure. And my production is what? A implies alpha. My right hand side of the production should be the 0 or more than 0 combinations of this. In this case, I remove this production which has I taken for example. In this case, what is the production which satisfy this rule? Which production satisfy that rule? See, you look at this. A implies alpha. A implies alpha. This production, for such kind of production, the left hand side of such production we are including into WR plus 1. On the basis of how my alpha looks like. How my alpha look like? Alpha means that is a right hand side of production. How my right hand side of production should look like? That should be combinations of terminal and non-terminal. What is that? My terminals are A, B, C, A, B, E. इसका स्टार. My alpha belongs to this one. Alpha should be one of the element of this closure. Does AB look at? How do you look at? Go for looking every symbol, every production. Look at the first production. Select the first production. Get the right hand side of the production. Here in this case, AB is there. Does AB is the element of this? It is. Means what? This alpha means it is alpha. A implies alpha. Here for this particular production, yes is what? A. Alpha is AB. Does alpha belongs to this? It is. Then this particular production passed this particular condition. That's why the left hand side of this production we should add into this WI plus 1. What is the left hand side of this production? Yes, we need to add. So WI 1 plus 1 is equal to what? It is basically WI. What is WI? WI is A, B, E, and that we are unioning with what? Yes, we identified. Next, does this production satisfy this condition? See, alpha is A. Does alpha is A is belongs to this closure? Yes. So A is also to be included. Then does this production satisfy? Yes. So B should be included. Next production. E implies C. Does C can be produced by using this closure? No. So it is excluded. So next, come to the next production. Does E implies C can be satisfied by this rule? Yes. In that case, E has to be included. So what ultimately we got? E plus 1, Wi plus 1 is A, B, E and S. Okay. So further, okay, in this way Wi plus 1 to be calculated. So you have to go on calculating Wi plus 1 recursively until some Wk is equivalent to Wk plus j. At some point of time, you will find that Wi's you are getting similar as a previous W's for some j value, and that j value will be less than the number of variables you are having in your graph. So for example, how many variables here we are having? A, B, E and S. 4 variables you are having. So at the most you will get W1, W2, W3 and W4 will be always equivalent to the W3. At that time you have to stop calculating W's. And the last W, so what is Vn equal to? Here we are constricting Vn dash na. So Vn, this way, hence you can say Vn dash is equal to W, okay, the last W you have calculated. Next we need to calculate P. P we need to calculate. What are the various productions should be included into the G dash grammar as per the variables we have identified, reduced number of variables we identified. So the step B, construction of P dash. So P dash will be the set of productions. P dash is the reduced number of productions, and these productions in generally here are written like this, where there exists a production where you can say that where A and alpha are belongs to A and alpha are belongs to what? Sigma union Wk or you can say Vn dash star. Wk is equal to Vn. So Vn dash star. What Vn dash you had received in the previous step, that Vn dash along with the set of terminals that you consider, and A and alpha of a production should be belongs to this particular set. Such production you have to include into the P dash, and that P dash is a reduced number of production you got. Okay, so this is about the first step. Further we will consider the second step, and that second step we will consider as per the theorem stated, second theorem stated. So second theorem is, once again you can read here. Further, this is in the what we got in the first step is a partially reduced grammar. In the first step we got partially reduced grammar, and in the second step we get completely reduced grammar. As for this, if you see that in this grammar, as per this first step, what we got, the number of variables in B and dash is S, A, B and E. And what production we got in B dash? Shall we solve this nicely before going for second step? Okay, fine. ये आपको याद रहेगा ना? नहीं रहेगा? आपने लिखा है सबने? Is it noted down? Okay. My grammar is, once again I will write. Is it okay here? The grammar is, I will start the step 1. In this first step A, where I need to calculate W1. W1 is a set of what? Such production which are having its right hand side as a terminal. In this case, A, B, E are such variables. W1 I calculated, where I consider I is equal to 1. W2 I need to calculate. W2 is what? W1 union. W1 union what? See, in examination you have to write like this. What to write? W1 union the productions, variables, and that variable is assigned. There exists a production. A implies alpha, where alpha is belongs to sigma union W1 whole star. In that case, I got W2 as A, B, E union. What I got? S, A, B, E. So I complete at this moment I got the W2 as A, B, E, S. Okay. Further I go for calculating W3. W3 is equal to W2 union again. There exists a production. You have to write once again, because in this step you are considering not W1, you are considering W2. That's why you need to write all this. There exists a production. A implies alpha, where alpha is belongs to what? Alpha belongs to sigma union W2 whole star. Here W2 comes, not W1. So W2 is A, B, E and yes, and further variable going to be add in this step is see the productions which are having a left hand side alpha, which is belongs to sigma union W2. Here W2 is this one, sigma is ABC, ABC, ABES. So see the production and select the production serially and look at the right hand side of production and see whether AB is belongs to sigma union W2 closure. Yes, it is belonging. So in that case, yes, I consider. Does this A implies A? Does this A terminal belongs to this particular closure set? Is it? Is it belongs to? What is the sigma union W2? What is value of sigma? Sigma is ABC. W2 is what? W2 is ABES. So do the union of that and closure of that. Does that closure having this A symbol in it? Yes. Then this left hand side of that production you have to include A. Then further this production also satisfy that rule. So B I can consider. Does this production satisfies? It doesn't satisfy. C cannot be. C is not in the set. This particular set. So C is excluded. Is this particular set is there? Production is satisfying? Yes, it is satisfying. So I can consider E. So what ultimately I got? I got the same set which is equivalent to W2. I got W3 equivalent to W2. So I need to stop the procedure. And this W3 I should consider as a, this W3 is equal to Vn dash. So Vn dash I calculated for my given grammar. Next I need to calculate P dash. How to calculate P dash? Such production which left hand side and right hand side of the production belongs to sigma union Vn dash closure, and my Vn dash is this one W3, and W3 is in this case ABES. So what various productions? So shall I do this? The next B, step B. Here I need to find P dash. My P dash will be the set of productions where the left hand side and right hand side of productions should be belongs to this one. What is my Vn dash here? Vn dash is in this my case is A, B, E and S. And sigma is what? A, B, C. Closure of this. So left hand side and right hand side. You can see that A comma alpha belongs to this. So is this production satisfies this condition? My A and alpha belongs to this. Does S implies AB? This production satisfy this? Look at A. A is yes. Can S be produced by this closure? Yes. Go to alpha, means right hand side. It is AB. Can AB can be produced through this closure? Yes. Then in that case, this production has to be considered. So I am considering the production S implies AB. What is the next production? I should go to the next production. Does the left hand side of this production can be produced by this closure? Yes. Right hand side? Yes. So add this production to the set P dash. So that is A implies A. Next production can also be the part of it. B implies B I also consider. Go to this production. Does this production satisfy this? There is no C here, capital C. So that's why that C won't be the element of this particular closure. Okay, so I am excluding this. What about the last production? It is also be the production to be included into my set. So here you can see that after attempting the first step, what I got the set of B and dash and P dash. In P dash, I am finding that one more production E implies C, which is really useless, is included in my reduced grammar. Okay, still which is required to be removed, but because of this first step, it has not been got removed. So that is why I tell you this is a partially reduced grammar. In the first step, we get partially reduced grammar, and to get fully reduced grammar, we have to go for second step. So what in second step, the theorem we follow is this one. Let G is a grammar. We want to find a equivalent grammar G dash, where this property we are going to look for. Every variable and terminal involves some sentential form. See, every variable and terminal involves in some sentential form. So what it means that if you go for deriving some strings out of this grammar, then at the right hand side of a derivation we call as a sentential form. That sentential form should have the terminal and non-terminal involved. If we consider at that moment, this E is not going to involve in any sentential form. Do you see? Start deriving a string out of this grammar. Here, for example, what I can have derivation, S implies AB, and AI replaced by applying the production, second production, where I will get small a and B. B I will further replace by applying third production, that is B implies B, and I get a terminal string AB. In this derivation, I am not getting any capital E involved in this derivation. Okay? So, since E is not being involving into the derivation, that is why we are removing that. In that way, this particular production get removed. Okay? So while we are using this property in the second part of a theorem, and hence we are removing further unwanted productions. Okay? Let us see how to do that. Step 2. In this, I am calculating Wi is set of terminal and variables. In previous step, I considered Wi as a only variables, okay? But in this step, the Wi I am considering as a set of terminal and variables, where Wi initially W1 I am considering as a start symbol. W1 I am having a start symbol in my grammar, and start symbol gives me a point where do I start my derivation. So in W1 I am immediately adding a one of a variable S. W2 I am calculating, or you can say Wi plus 1 I am calculating. That is a union of W1, okay, and set of terminal and non-terminal X. I am considering X as a variable, and that X is a terminal as well as non-terminal belongs to sigma union what? Vn in this case. Okay? Sigma union Vn star. See what the simple logic I am applying here. I am starting with what? The production with start symbol. S implies AB. I am looking for AB. I am looking for all those. I am collecting all such variables and terminals which are appearing at my right hand side. Okay? So X is something. X is set of variables or terminals which is belongs to sigma union Vn. Here Vn is what? Vn means what? Vn by first theorem का Vn या यहाँ का Vn? We are talking about the second theorem. Here Vn is this one. Vn is included in G. What is G here? What is G here? G here is a partially reduced grammar. We received in the previous step. Are you understanding? So in part, this is basically Vn dash. We consider in the previous case. So it is reduced number of variables we had received in the previous step. So that variables and sigma. Okay. That we are doing a closure and that X is that we are belonging. We parallelly we can go for this. I forget every time. Yes, within next 5 minutes I am finishing it. It is a simple one. See, what the grammar we had received in the previous step. The grammar G received in the previous step is like this. What? S A B E. Sigma is A B C P S, where P is this one P dash. S implies AB, A implies A, B implies B, and E implies C. This was the grammar we had received in the previous step. By taking input as this grammar, we are going for step 2. Out of it, first step we are looking for, and here we are calculating W1, and it is said that W1 is immediately should be considered as a first variable, starting variable S. On the basis of W1, I am calculating W2. W2 is a union of W1. In this case, S is there. I can write W1 union, and further set of variables and terminals. How the variables and terminals I should select in this case? That set of variables and terminals I should select on the basis of this rule. Okay? X is belongs to sigma union Vn, where there exists a production. A implies alpha, A is belongs to Wi, and x is belongs to alpha is belongs to this is belongs to not implies alpha is belongs to x. See what here consider WR previous WR union x set of variables of terminals and the set of terminals belongs to this one where there exists. How do we find the variables of terminals? On the basis of there exists a production A implies alpha where A belongs to Wi and Wi means what? Variables. This variable belongs to the previous set of variables we received in the previous step. In this case Wi is yes and alpha belongs to x. It means that hereby if I consider such x where x is belongs to sigma union Vn star for such alpha A implies alpha. Here in this case my A is belongs to what? W1 and that W1 is what? S and alpha belongs to what? Alpha belongs to sigma which is A, B, C. Vn means what? A, S, S, A, B, E. Close it. Now see, my W2 I am calculating. W1 is what? S union what? Terminal and non-terminal I should consider. A is what? Such A. Okay. Such X I have to consider. Okay. X is what? Basically X is belongs to alpha. Alpha is belongs to X and X is this one. So आपको what exactly you need to do? You need to see such production. You need to see such production. What is A? What is A here? A is yes. Go to S production. Where is S production? This is my S production. See the right hand side of a production AB. Does AB are belongs to X? This is X. X is belongs to this. Does AB belongs to X? Yes. In that case, A and B you need to include into. A and B you need to include. Further, here you consider what here you need not to go to next production because what it is said A is belongs to S only. That's why only S production you are considering. Because of this production, what further variables we received? A and B. Now we got W2 is equal to S, A, B. Okay? Further we need to calculate W2. W2 we calculated, W3. W3 is equal to W2 union. Similarly, in this case, X which is belongs to sigma union Vn star where A is the production A implies alpha and A is belongs to what? Now A is belongs to S, A, B and alpha is belongs to X and that X is equal to A. X is belongs to what? Similarly, A, B, C, S, A, B, E. Now tell me what is the value of X? Here W2 is SAB. My W2 is SAB. My W2 is SAB. What is X? X is belongs to this. For a production, A implies alpha, where A is SAB, and my X is alpha belongs to this. Select S from the production. S production is this one. Go to the right hand side, see it, and check whether this AB belongs to this X or not. Does it belongs to? Yes. Then my W3 includes W2 union what? AB. Next, go to the production A. A is what? A production, this one A. See the left hand side, right hand side. Does this terminal A belongs to this set? Closure set? It is belonging. So the left hand side has to be included. A. Go to the next production. Next symbol, next variable B. B is there. See the right hand side. B terminal is there. So B belongs to this closure. It is belonging. So let's copy that into this set. Now W3 becomes, what is W2? W2 is what? SAB. And union of this AB. So what is resultant? What we get? AB. This is a W3 we got. Here you can clearly see that E has been removed, got removed. So this is we just worked out A part of A step of step 2, B step. So if you look at the second theorem, we were considering to construct Vn dash, G dash is equal to Vn dash, sigma dash, V dash and S. So what is V dash now? Vn dash is equal to what? Vn intersection Wk. In this case, you will find this in this first step. You have to repeat, go on continuing Wi until you get Wk is equal to Wk plus J. Okay? In this case W3 we got. W4 आप calculate करेंगे तो क्या हो जाएगा? You will get W4 is equivalent to W3. So such the last W we calculated, that Wk you have to consider in B. So that Wk, just do the intersection of Vn and Wk. That you will get Vn dash. Calculate sigma dash. Sigma dash is equal to sigma union Wk. And V dash you will be calculated. Okay? A implies alpha. The production of kind A implies alpha you need to include, where A and alpha belongs to what? Vn dash, or you can say A and alpha belongs to Wk star. Wk star. As a result of this, what Vn dash I calculate for my problem? What was Vn? Vn was having SABE intersection of this, what WK I found? SAB, it is equal to what? SAB. Vn dash we calculated. What is sigma? Sigma is sigma ABC intersection SAB. SAB नहीं है. WK was SAB, A and B, small a and small b. So SAB and intersection SAB, AB. Then what is that? What is what? Sigma S AB and P dash P dash. P dash such production, the production A implies alpha, where A and alpha belongs to WK star. What is WK? A implies alpha, where A and alpha belongs to what is my WK? WK is SAB AB. So in this case, what my P dash is? Such productions. If you see that P, thus SAB is belongs to this A and alpha. So the production S implies AB, A implies A implies B implies B. These will be the only productions you will find at the end of B dash. So if you see the grammar G dash, here we got the grammar G dash. In the second step we got is what? SAB sigma AB P S, where P belongs to S implies AB, A implies A, B implies B. So this is my reduced graph.